I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but there's been a lot of murders happening lately. One of which was a beautiful young woman named Irina Zarutsky. She was coming home from work one night, August 22nd, 2025. Why did she get murdered? Because of the color of her skin. That's it. Some lunatic decided to take her out because of that and bragged about it afterwards. You know what the worst part was? Not one single person jumped to her aid until the last minute. Watch the video, you'll see what I mean. Nobody tried to tackle her killer to the ground. They just sat there and watched it happen. Nobody noticed that he was standing up behind her and getting out a knife to slash her. Nobody saw that? Come on. The person that was sitting adjacent to him should have seen it. And if he didn't, well, he wasn't paying attention. But either way, nobody tried to come to her aid, though the woman was obviously wounded. And everybody heard what he was saying, and not one person jumped up to try to tackle him to the ground and become a hero. Why? Because of the color of her skin. It's disgusting to me. The woman came to this country to escape what was going on in her country, only to be brutally murdered by the same thing in this country. It's sad that she was so young. Not one person came to her aid until the last minute. Watch this video, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. We have to do better, America. This is getting ridiculous.
It was a quiet night in Charlotte, North Carolina. The clock was nearing 10 p.m. when a young woman boarded the train after finishing her shift at a local pizzeria. She had no idea. This ride would be her last. Her name was Irina Zarutska, only 23 years old. She had fled the war in Ukraine with her family in 2022, hoping to find safety and a new beginning. She loved art, fashion design, and animals, dreaming one day of becoming a veterinary assistant. On August 22nd, 2025, before Irina even stepped onto the train, the cameras had already caught a disturbing sight. A man sat in his seat wearing a red hoodie, but he wasn't still. He shifted constantly, fidgeting, his body restless, his face betraying flashes of raw emotion. He looked uneasy, unsettled, almost as if a storm was already brewing inside him. And within minutes, that storm would explode, just as Irina took her seat in front of him. At 9:46 p.m., Irina boarded the Lynx Blue Line, wearing her work uniform, listening to music, scrolling on her phone. Her attention was fixed on the screen. Around her, the train remained quiet. Passengers kept to themselves, with only the steady sound of the subway moving along the tracks. 4 minutes later, the man reached into his hoodie and pulled out a folding pocket knife. Without warning, he struck from behind. The blade pierced Irina's neck, and before she could react, he stabbed her twice more in the back. The entire attack lasted only seconds. She had no time to move, no chance to defend herself, while passengers nearby began to realize the horror unfolding right in front of them. Security footage shows Irina collapsing in her seat. After the stabbing, the attacker stepped away from the area and walked toward the front of the train car. There, he took off his hoodie and held it in his hand as he moved through the car, almost as if trying to cover a wound. He didn't leave right away, staying inside the train car for nearly 2 minutes. Then, he quietly exited at the next stop, leaving the car behind in chaos and panic. Meanwhile, terrified passengers rushed to the scene of the crime before fleeing the train at the next station. Unfortunately, transit security guards were on the train that night, but they were in the car ahead of where the attack took